William on Twitter asks, hey, Canelo, why have you continually refused to fight Demetrius Andrade? Never at 154 or at 160, and he holds a belt. You call him boring, but you smash Billy Joe Saunders, and his style is similar.
No, he's a horrible fighter. I don't never want to fight with him. He fought with anybody. So.
Yeah. And what do you think about Jake Paul telling people that he would love to fight Canelo Alvarez in another year or two?
Oh man, I don't know. We'll see.
Canelo is a horrible liar. Horrible liar. It's not that Andrade is a horrible fighter. It's that Canelo is a horrible liar. All right? So, a legit boxer with the belt is not good enough for a Canelo fight. But a YouTuber is? Make that make sense to any real boxing fan. I'm not talking about no fanboys. We not talking about no Super Saiyan Canelo fanboys. We know that they don't care if he fight a broomstick. We understand that. But to the boxing fans, make that make sense. You can't make that make sense. Because at the end of the day, it just shows contradiction and it exposes your real fear. Or at least your handler's real fear. Okay? Notice that him taking the consideration of fighting a Logan Paul, notice how there's no talks of that damaging his legacy. There's no talks of that damaging boxing. There's no Super Saiyan Canelo fanboy saying, oh man, don't do that. It looks bad to even be considering it. You know damn well he'll take that fight. You want to know why Canelo will take that fight? Because it's right up his alley of MO and what he likes to do. Canelo likes to beat up on white boys. To be frank with you, you know, that's who he feels he can dominate. The reason why he doesn't want to fight Andrade is because, truthfully, him, his handlers, and his fan base do not want to see Canelo lose to a colored fighter. Period. They don't want to see that again. And Canelo knows that about his fan base. He got Canelo got the most racist fan base in boxing. And it's no need in convincing you because they're proud of it. Just like they're proud of him cheating. You know, this is why there's nothing that he does that I support anymore. Was a Canelo fan, but I'm not a fan of what he's doing with his career. And I definitely don't like his fan base at all. Period. You know, just a bunch of sad individuals. But they don't think his career can take another hit by taking a loss to a quote unquote black fighter. But hold on. Because it just don't stop there. It's not just black fighters. See, everybody put emphasis on the black fighters because that's what his fan base is obsessed with. To be frank. You know what I'm saying? Black people. You know what I'm saying? They're obsessed with them. But the reason why he doesn't want to fight a David Benavidez, it's not because David Benavidez is American. I mean, sorry, my bad. He is American. But it's not because he has Mexican heritage. It's because Canelo knows that he cannot lose to another Mexican fighter because they will be liked and accepted more than him, believe it or fucking not. Now, somebody's going to say, bullshit. Bullshit. No, it's not bullshit. If another Mexican fighter managed to beat Canelo Alvarez, they will inherit all of his accolades, all of his hard work, all of his notoriety, all of his fame, all of his clout. They will instantly inherit that. And he knows it. You want to know how he knows it? Because these Canelo fanboys won't admit it today. And I wish somebody would jump in the comment section and tell me this is not true, just so I can make a video proving that it is true. Most of these Canelo fanboys wasn't Canelo fanboys. You know who they was fans of? Triple fucking G. They kicked Canelo ass out of the Mexican community and opened the doors for Triple G. Don't let them tell you different. Please don't let them tell you different, because I got the proof to back it up. So I wish somebody would get in the comment section, tell me, oh, that's not true. It is true. The Mexican fan base, for the most part, turned their back on Canelo and accepted Triple G as a Mexican. That's a fact, and I can prove it. Okay? It's only when Triple G lost, they jumped right back on the Canelo train. And Canelo knew that. That's why he was so pissed. You remember at the first fight, everybody say Canelo lost. Canelo fought, lost. He wasn't fighting like no real Mexican. He wasn't fighting like no real Mexican. That pissed Canelo the fuck off. Then he came in there and he fought like a Mexican. Period. But most of these Canelo fanboys was originally Triple G's fan base. Facts. They've been saying Canelo's not no real Mexican. They've been saying. See, regardless of how they want to portray that, oh, well, of course, these guys are going to say this about Canelo, they're black. But what they keep hiding from y'all, or not hiding, just not highlighting or mentioning, is that he's heavily criticized in the Latino media. Heavily criticized. He's not even liked. But they only complain about if you criticize him. Okay? But the truth of the matter is, Canelo Alvarez's reputation cannot take a loss from a colored fighter or another Mexican. Okay? And how can you be the face of boxing saying that you don't want to fight somebody else because of your heritage? If we all played that card, would we see any of these matchups? No, we wouldn't. And this is where it comes to the problem with Canelo Alvarez. Look, let's talk about me personally. Was a huge Canelo Alvarez fan, and then I woke up. I just woke up at the end of the day. But this is the thing. How are you going to sit up here and call yourself the face of boxing, but you won't face another boxer because you say that they're boring, but you will entertain a fight with a YouTuber in time? Then you turn around and you talk about somebody has fought with nobody. But let's be honest. How many of you out there heard of Rocky Fielding before Canelo Alvarez fought him? Let's be real. Okay? And most importantly, everybody says this. Okay? Who has Rocky Fielding fought? Who has Callum Smith fought? Okay? Who? Is it a fact or is it not a fact that the so-called pound for pound champion, the so-called face of boxing, fought his sparring partner who came off of a loss? How is that elite or the best fighting the best or reaching for greatness? See, the reason why he picked Caleb Plant, because Caleb Plant is right up his alley. I told you, Canelo Alvarez liked to beat up on white boys. That's where he gets his most confidence at. He's not confident fighting Mexicans or other black fighters, even though he has fought some of them. You know what I'm saying? They're strategic. This is how you know it's strategic, because he makes sure that if he does fight them, they're either completely not on his level or out of their prime. He aged out Triple G, because Triple G don't age well in boxing, as you could tell. He aged out Triple G before he fought him. We all know that. He struggled with a Miguel Cotto, and Miguel Cotto, according to Canelo fans, when Floyd fought him, he was past his prime. But Canelo fought him 5 years later, struggled, and won. And they said it was a good win. See, at the end of the day, you can't really expect nothing much out of Canelo. I accept Canelo for what he is. He's a cartoon character. He's playing a role. I mean, talented, yes. But that's the reason why I get so upset with Canelo. Because you are talented, but you will not gamble with that talent at all. You won't take any risk with that talent at all. Period. How can you think about fighting a YouTuber, but a legit boxer with a belt when you could have unified, you don't want to fight with at all? And then it's because David Benavidez is Mexican. But that's his heritage. He's an American. but his heritage is Mexican and Ecuadorian or whatever. You know? So it's a reason why they said American Mexican. If you're from Mexico and he's from America, how you still be talking about Mexican? Don't nobody want to hear that shit. That's not no face of boxing shit. That's not no pound for pound shit. But we all know this. But this is the thing with Canelo. We already accept the fact that you can't beat him on the scorecards. We all accepted that, right? Now they want you to accept you can't beat him on the scorecards. He can fight people coming off of the loss. He can take PEDs. He could give away belts to become franchise champion. It's a whole lot of shit you want me to accept just to be a fan of him. And I've already accepted you can't beat him on the scorecards. He's, cash cow. He's the man. Fine. But I got to accept steroids and all this other shit and picking on white boys in the UK and all this other shit, but you don't want to fight other Mexicans or other black fighters and shit like this for lame ass reasons. But yet you talking about somebody has fought nobody, but you pick Caleb Plant to fight who doesn't have a better resume than Demetrius Andrade? None at all. And he talked about we'll see with Jake Paul. Who could Jake Paul fight in the meantime, in between time, that you would view as credible for you to step into the ring with him? But notice, none of them is hollering, oh, this will fuck up your legacy. None of that. But they talk shit about Floyd. You talk shit about Floyd. The difference is at least Floyd fought a real fucking fighter who was basically at the top of his game when he did it. You taking this fucking, somebody who calls himself the problem child, and you'll give him a consideration, but David Benavidez and Demetrius Andrade, oh, no, he's a horrible fighter, and he's Mexican, and let's be honest, that is straight curry chicken bullshit. Canelo's a coward. He's a coward. There ain't no way of getting around it. This is why you got to appreciate somebody like Anthony Joshua, because he gambled with his talent. No matter how far up he is, he don't turn down fights. That's some face of boxing shit. Not this bullshit. He's Mexican. He's boring, but I'm going to fight a sparring partner coming off the loss. I'm going to fight a Rocky Fielding who nobody ever fucking heard of. And who the fuck is he beat? It's the same shit. But of course his fan base don't give a shit what the fuck he does. Juiced up the whole nine. They really don't give a shit. I understand that now, and it's nothing wrong. If you want to love him regardless of who he fights, if you want to love him regardless of if he on PEDs or not, if he lost to Laura, if he need help edging out wins, if you still want to love him for that, that is your fucking prerogative. I don't get behind anything this week. I keep telling y'all that. And I don't create excuses for you because that is what makes you weak. And no matter who's my favorite fighter, I will never make excuses for them. They got to stand on their own like a man because they are a man, like I'm a man. So when you take up for these grown men, they can still be men, but you're not a man. Okay? You're not a man. You're acting like a female and an overprotective one at that. But then again, that's just my opinion. I'm out.